Hi, welcome back to CoffeeNate.com. I'm Nate Smith, and this is our 12th episode, and this week we're featuring a review of Berres Brothers coffee. What I have here is their signature roast. It's the award-winning roast, the Ethiopian blend. Apparently it's not a blend, sorry. It's Ethiopian, it's a single origin, and is described as delightfully fruity, delectably mild. Aromatic African beans create this mellow brew with an intriguing wine-like finish. And when I smell the beans, I get a nice chocolate smell. Now, I've described lots of other beans as having a chocolate smell. It's been more of a dark chocolate. This is a milk chocolate, very sweet smelling, chocolatey caramel type of smell when you smell the actual beans. And it's even more so, it's even more pronounced when you smell the beans when they're right after they're being ground. That's when you should be actually brewing the coffee, is right when they're ground. That way you're getting the most flavor out of that bean as possible, that it doesn't go stale. So I'm going to give this a shot here. And all those noises help to spread the coffee throughout my palate up into your nasal region, so you can taste and smell it at the same time, type of deal. So it sounds kind of rude, but you can get more of the flavor. No, it's a very clean, a very nice mild flavor. It's very light, and it's definitely some floral undertones with the sweet, chocolatey, chocolate and flowers. That's how I'm going to describe this taste. Now, I also received their Highlander Grog blend. It's a flavored coffee, and it's caramel and chocolate and some different flavors. I'm not really into flavored coffee, and I tried it once. It was pretty good. And when I drink a coffee that's flavored, I like to use cream, and it's more of a dessert type of deal. It's not for the actual the quality of the bean. That's how I look at it. Anyway, I would have tried some tonight, but my wife enjoyed it so much she drank it all. So I don't have that to share with you, but apparently women like it. So you single fellas out there, grab yourself some of that Highlander Grog. Get you lucky with the ladies. And anyway, okay. This week I'm just going to talk about a few comments and questions that have come in. Tim wants to know if there's any special cleaning process that should be done to your brewer on a daily basis. He knows about the descaling, the periodic maintenance, but he wants to know if there's a daily thing that he should be doing to preserve the quality and help his newly purchased brewers last longer. So basically, Tim, there's nothing special. Don't use the straight tap water, and depending on what type of part of the country you're from, has more of an effect. But generally, if you use the filtered water, it will prolong the life of your brewer, and it won't create as many mineral deposits and impurities build up inside of the brewer, which can really affect the taste. Next is Esther. She says that she can drink coffee and go right to sleep. Does that mean that there's something wrong with her? I don't know if she's saying that she can just happen to fall asleep after drinking coffee, which I can. Maybe I'm immune because I drink so much, I don't know. Or maybe it's just because I only sleep 4 hours a night. That may have something to do with it as well. But there are studies that show that ADD and ADHD persons, caffeine has an opposite effect. So I don't know if she's saying that it makes her sleepy, or if she just has the ability to go to sleep. So that might be something to ask your medical professionals. All right, Zachary says, thanks for inspiring me to start home roasting. These aren't comments that were on the blog. These are just comments that have been emailed to me, so I want to share them with everybody that way. You know what's being said anyway. Tim, you're welcome. If I help you to gain an appreciation and to try new things out, then that's great. That's what I'm here for, and that's That's why I'm doing this. These are things that I'm trying too. You know, I never thought, hey, I'll throw some coffee in the popcorn popper and see what happens. No, just experimenting around and trying to learn new things. Next is Jen, should coffee be stored in the freezer? Now, we've talked about this a couple times already, and it's okay, because this is a popular misconception is that people have that you should store your coffee in the fridge or the freezer. I've heard both. Everybody's heard both. If you store it in the fridge, for one thing, that is even worse in the freezer, because not only do you get the condensation from being in the cold and then being brought into the warmth and back into the cold, you also have the grinds and the beans are actually absorbing flavors from inside of your refrigerator. So you can have some nice milk, leftover meatloaf flavored coffee that's not really appetizing, but that's what will happen. And when you store it in the freezer, okay, there's different schools of thought. It's okay to store it in the freezer as long as you bring it out once, and then there's other people that just put it in the freezer, and that's where they always store their coffee. They take the package out, spoon out some beans, and then put the package back in. Now, what that does is every time you were bringing those beans out of the freezer, the packaging is partially warmed, and then when you put it back in the freezer, it creates a condensation, and when you bring it in and out, it actually creates moisture, which is one of the things that really affects the freshness of the coffee. So you want to avoid that. The only way that I would say that it would maybe be okay to freeze it is if you get coffee beans in bulk that are already roasted, and you package them in amounts that are equal to what you would use in a week. So you would make separate packages of these amounts, and then when you take it out once, and that's it. But before you grind it, let it settle back to room temperature, and then use it as you would, and store it in an airtight container when it is out of the freezer. But other than that, I would say just buy fresh beans, buy freshly roasted beans. Don't go to the store and buy some old nasty stuff that's been sitting there forever. You don't know how long it's been, and then just throw it in your cupboard. Who knows? That stuff, especially grocery store type of deals, there's no way to know how long those beans have been there. And the thing is once coffee is roasted, it's only fresh for 2 weeks. Packaging can have a slight effect on how long that lasts, but to get the fresh roasted taste, you have to have fresh roasted beans. And the reason why I'm sharing these companies with you is because the majority of them will tell you when their coffee is roasted. Okay, and you can tell by packaging, and you can actually talk to these people, and they will tell you, or it's dated. Alright, and that's all I have for this week. If you have questions, everybody that sent in questions and comments will be entered into a draw for some free coffee, and I'll be doing that after today's show, and we'll see who wins. There's been a lot of comments and questions come in, and there's 3 ways that you can get entered in. You can sign up for the newsletter and updates, and that's at the top of this page. You can send in a question, or you can comment on the blog. Actually 4 now, if you sign up to be a fan of our Facebook fan page as well, you'll be entered in. So send in your questions and comments. Follow me on Twitter at CoffeeNate, and you can also send in your show topic ideas if you have anything that you want me to cover. That would be cool. I got a couple that have been sent in this week, and I'll be taking a look at that. I got to order some stuff to actually go through with what they want. So I'll be looking around at doing that and sharing my experiences with you. Thanks again for coming back, and come back to CoffeeNate.com, where there's always something brewing.